So we've also shot season 2 of Half Love, Half Arranged. I often say this, that we might not have been friends had it not been for this show. You say OCD, we think Monica Geller from Friends, and we'll say, oh, I'm just like Monica, I have OCD. Hi guys, I'm Manvi Gagru and you're watching me on iDiva Speakeasy. Oh, it's lovely. I think he's a very, he's from television. His training has been in television acting, and the kind of work hours television actors have, and the kind of training they end up getting by working for years in television is very different from what I might have as an actor or doing web or film. And it's interesting to see that, because like he's always there, like he's present. He can act, like I keep joking with him that he can show love to a tripod stand, because they're so used to getting cues and acting without a co-actor, and I can't. I can, but I would prefer much rather that there's an actual person in front of me, even if I'm not looking at them, but they're giving me cues and stuff. So things like that. He's really chill, he's really fun. In fact, I keep again, because of his television training, he doesn't find a lot of things odd, which things that I might find odd, and I'd be like, why is this happening? Why is this, and I'm constantly like talking about production issues, or why is this not there? And he's like, it's okay, it happens. And I'm like, just stop it, like, I need you to react and stuff. So we've also shot season 2 of Half Love, Half Arranged, and we haven't announced it yet, but we'll be announcing it soon. And I've had a ball shooting that as well. I think I feel I'm closest to Damini in real life, in the sense of like trying to stand up for what I think is right. And in fact, like a lot of people tell me that it's okay, like you don't have to fight for everything or about everything. And I'm like, no, but what do you mean? Like, if it's, I can't let something wrong happen. Either I don't know, like, if I don't know, then I don't know. If it's happening in front of me and I keep quiet, that's not okay. And, things like that. So that fighter instinct, I think, is from there. I'm also, I was going to get into journalism, for example, like that would have been my alternate career. So that was, again, something that Damini has. So yeah, I think these two. I think all four actually, and that's like what we keep talking about with among ourselves as well, that all four of us are so different as people, as individuals, and just like our characters are. Yet there is, and maybe it's the shared experience of doing this show, and maybe I often say this, that we might not have been friends had it not been for this show, because we would have never been drawn to each other in the way that we have been. But now there is, like, all of us have a certain, like how in every group there's a person who, there's a mom of the group, there's a baby of the group, there's a party planner of the group, there's a party canceller of the group, so we all have certain roles that we've kind of acquired, and just organically. And I think and then we have this shared thing that we've created, which is FOMO Shots Please. And it just doesn't include the 4 girls, even the makers like Rongita, Ishita, and our 3 directors across. I have a very healthy relation and lovely relationship with all of them. So yeah. Of all the shows I've done, I think Amol from Tripling. Yeah, some of them though I can't name only because they're in season 2. Who would talk to me at 4 a.m? Sriti. Shayani. Kirti. Also Kirti. So Sumit is already, like, I already feel he's like Chandan with me, like how Chandan is. Like he has a little huck, he feels that he has that huck of an older brother. So he'll give me gyan also. He'll also like worry about, like, ask for after me. He'll also like make fun of me. I mean, I genuinely feel we have that older brother, younger sister relationship. Again, very organically. So Sumit. Oh wow. So I was actually, it's really funny. A friend of mine just dropped me here, and literally our only conversation was about mental health, and not consciously. Like, we didn't decide to talk about it. We just started talking about it. And like he was talking about meditation, and I was telling him what school of meditation works for me. But I think, so this year especially, so I've always been into meditation. I've always tried different styles of meditation. Like I've tried Reiki, I've tried Vipassana, I've tried the art of living, breathing techniques, chanting, so, but I've realized that like this year, so in January, I did a yoga course, like a teacher training yoga course. And you always know, like, we always talk about how body and mind and everything kind of works in tandem. But I don't think I experienced it the way I experienced it this year in the month of Jan. And it's just like, you see it, when you see it working like that and you realize that, oh, okay, so we cannot separate the two. That is one way I deal with it, is that, if I'm feeling anxious, I work out the anxiety. And I don't mean literal work, like I actually work out. It could be anything. I could like do something physical. I move, I go for a walk, run. Of course, if you go for a workout, that's the best. But I'm saying it doesn't have to be that. Just realizing that it's connected. Sometimes it's just, you haven't eaten in a long time, or you've eaten the wrong kind of food. Like there's this joke that, like a meme I keep sending my friends, that, I'm feeling sick and I'm feeling weird. And then the friend asks that, okay, how long have you slept? And I'm like, 4 hours. What have you eaten? Oh, pizza. And like you've done all things wrong, and then you expect, why is my mental health so bad? But it's that, it's very closely interlinked to physical, including when you have actual conditions, like it could be like vitamin B12 deficiency, D deficiency. It could be a lot of hormonal things. So yeah, it's always important to get help, just like get professional help. Actually, start with that and then figure out what works for you. Yeah, firstly, there's this whole pop psychology thing, thanks to Instagram, which is like taken over the world, which is great. Like at least it's familiarizing people with certain terms. It's opening them up to certain concepts and allowing people to talk about certain things, which is great. But like when you say that people use these terms loosely and just throw them around. Yeah, I wish, I think it's okay for them, but what it might do to someone who actually suffers from that is, I think it might invalidate their feelings, maybe, I don't know. Like for example, when we say, how OCD was depicted in like, let's say, films and television. You say OCD, we think Monica Geller from Friends, and we'll say, oh, I'm just like Monica, I have OCD. But clinical OCD is, or like actual diagnosed OCD is very different from wanting to be clean and systematic and methodical. There are people, that's what we usually call OCD, right? We say usko OCD hai, which means that she wants things in place, or he wants everything organized and stuff. But that's just being organized, and that's just being, wanting things a certain way. It's not clinical OCD. That's the definition of that. To be diagnosed as that, it's a different criteria you need. So, but again, that's getting into the skin of, the thick of things. But yeah, I like that people are talking about anxiety. I like that people are talking about depression. And yes, depression is different from having a bad day. Depression is different from having a bad week even. So we'll get into the actual definitions maybe in some time. Let's at least, the fact that we're talking about these things, I think it's a great start. So guys, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to iDiva. Also, don't forget to watch my upcoming shows. You'll soon find out which ones they are.